In Oklahoma, the optimum time to cut native grass for hay is the first part of July, before July 15th. This will optimize the amount of total forage with the quality. If you wait till after July 15th, the quality of the forage starts declining rapidly. And if you cut the hay in June, then you're not going to get a lot of production. There's just not going to be a lot of biomass. You're not going to have a lot of bales, although the quality would be very high. Some of the producers will try to cut their native grass fields early, like late May even, but certainly into early June, so that they can get a second cutting in August. And so that first cutting, you end up with a really high quality hay product, but you don't get very much quantity at all. Usually biomass production is still low until late June, so you don't get a lot of bales. And that second cutting, you get a lot of volume, but the quality is very poor. It might only be 25% of what it would have been back in late June. So neither cutting is very good. The first one is high quality but low quantity. The second one is just the opposite. So to really optimize, we recommend that people cut the very first part of July. Research has shown that multiple cuttings on native grasslands can shift the plant community to something that's undesirable from a hay standpoint, also from a wildlife standpoint. But additionally, if you're cutting the field in May or June, this is the peak reproduction season for lots of wildlife, including ground nesting birds, small mammals like rabbits. This is when deer fawns are on the ground and are vulnerable. It's also the time of year when things like box turtles are actively moving around. So if you're out cutting hay during May or June, you're going to cause a lot of wildlife mortality, and you're not going to optimize the quantity and quality of the forage that you could be cutting for hay. So in addition to the wildlife benefits, there's also a lot of insect benefits, and people are increasingly concerned about pollinators. Pollinators, of course, are critically important for our food supply. They also provide lots of ecological services, and so things like native bees and butterflies and moths that are really important beneficial insects for pollinating our food crops. A lot of these insects are in the larval stage during early summer. Also, for the insects that are already adults, they're feeding because they're actively using these fields for nectar sources. So there's just a lot of negatives that you need to think about when you're mowing during that peak blooming period of early summer.